Thank you all very much. First of all, give yourselves a round of applause. Look at the rain out there, and look at how many people came down here expecting to be in the rain. As I pointed out, that's what the private sector can actually do. They can get something open, we can get in out of the rain. If we didn't wait for a government program, I think we'd be flooded out before then. December 16th, 1773. At the age of 15, as an apprentice tallow chandler, Joseph Lovering was perhaps the youngest participant in the Boston Tea Party. He lived with his parents at the northeast corner of Hollis and Tremont Streets in Boston, opposite Crane's and Bradley's. He held the lantern in Mr. John Crane's carpenter shop across the street as 15 Sons of Liberty disguised themselves before going to Griffin's Wharf. Crane was the only man injured in the event. Young Joseph Lovering was subsequently closely questioned and severely reprimanded by his parents for being out after 9 o'clock, as they had a strict requirement that he should be in bed at that late hour. I can imagine that conversation when he got home. I'm home. I'm home. Where have you been, young man? And you didn't even send a text message. Well, you know, I was out helping to protest the Tea Act. I don't care if you were out starting the War of Independence. We have strict rules about being home in time for dinner and bed. You're grounded, young man. Well, that young man, Joseph Lovering, happened to be my great-great-great-great-grandfather. And while I don't have a lantern to hold, and we don't have to get dressed up, I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad that you're here too. Now, we all know why the Tea Party, the original Boston Tea Party, was conducted. No taxation without representation. Now, many on the left will argue that we are indeed represented, that we all had an opportunity to participate and vote in the last election, the election before that, the election before that, and the election before that, and that we lost. So shut up and go home. But you know what? They are almost right. Many of us did lose in the last election, I being one of those, and we are represented. However, the $10 trillion, the $10 million on debt and guarantees that have been added in the last 3 months, combined with the $40 million already in debt due to entitlements and other things, must eventually be repaid. And who is going to repay that? My children and my grandchildren. And they did not have an opportunity to participate in the last election. They were not represented. As was stated, and I will reiterate, they are being taxed without representation, and that is immoral. The political leaders in our country are weak. No longer are we even a tax and spend country. We are a debt and spend country. And that is wrong, and my children are too young. They're younger than even my forefather Joseph Lovering was at the Tea Party. They are too young to protest for themselves. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you are self-centered enough to debt and spend today so that we'll have to tax tomorrow, then I'm against you. We are here today. We are here today representing those who were not represented in the last election. The children of our future, whose standard of living will be lower, whose lifespans will be shorter, and who will have fewer opportunities because of the selfishness that is being demonstrated today. We must speak for the children of tomorrow. Amen. In closing, I simply say this to the debt and spend liberals. No more debt. 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 Thank you very much.